This is the Rebel Call channel. Welcome to today's show. In order for me to help the young children, teenagers, I should say, out there wake up to what's going on, I need to be in the know of who in the world is getting pushed onto the young teenagers. Because the only people being pushed are the ones that are being promoted, and the ones being promoted are all compromised. So, in order for me to figure out what's going on, because we're not in the days of Beyonce as much as we used to be anymore, and Rihanna as much as we used to be anymore, and Eminem as much as we used to be anymore. But there's a lot of teenagers that are getting very manipulated by what they call K-pop. Now, K-pop, if for anyone out there that doesn't know, is the absolute worst. It is like Backstreet Boys merged with NSYNC, and then out of their butt came a butt baby called the Spice Girls. It's pretty much a mixture of all of the garbage from the 90s. They're doing it still because it's a formula that works to, of course, initiate the young teenagers and the young children out there into following these false idols who, of course, are nothing more than gatekeepers. These people are nothing more than MK Ultra, mind control servants of the elites. And we could see that through a lot of the pictures and all the stuff that I'll show you in this video. And of course, again, they show you who they work for in these music videos. And then what ends up happening is, because people go, well, what's the big deal? I'm listening to the song, and they don't realize they're being spellcasted by the lyrics. And from there, they follow the behavior that these celebrities push on them on how to live their lives and the signs and symbols they end up repeating and holding up. And all these things end up going back, of course, to devil worship. So this band was trending, Kiss of Life. Never heard of them before. Hopefully I never have to hear from them again. And it's no surprise that it's trending by design, because the second I click on the video, the first thing I met with is a zoom in on somebody's eyeball. Now, I don't know if they have an eyelash and they're asking the people out there in the audience to help them find the eyelash. Maybe there's an eye booger in there. Or maybe it's just, of course, that they're obsessed with their god, Lucifer. Now, if you look into the band Kiss of Life, you will see all sorts of signs and symbols before I actually break down this music video for you. And for anybody out there wondering, okay, this is something I've mentioned many times over to show you how deep this runs. The reason that K-pop, Korean bands, all these bands from other countries trend in countries like America and vice versa. America, a lot of the bands here trend over in, China, or they'll trend in the UK because of the New World Order, okay? This is one of the ways that they actually desensitize people into getting into other cultures. So they start breaking down barriers, and you say, why would there be a Korean, why is K-pop trending when a lot of the times these bands are trending and the lyrics of the music aren't even in English? And the audience is so dumbed down that they don't realize that they're trying to break barriers between countries. And of course, we all know that the reason that there are barriers, the reason that there are countries, the reasons that there are nations divided is because God divided the nations. After, of course, the Tower of Babel, God scrambled the languages, thus the word Babel, and divided the nations. And of course, part of this New World Order is breaking down all borders and bringing everything back into oneness. So that's one of the reasons you see K-pop trending in America. It's not because, hey, all of a sudden K-pop's really popular. But a lot of these dumb teenagers seem to think they know what's going on. And that's what's scariest about all this, is that a lot of them are so narcissistic because of the way they've been manipulated, that they actually, all the programming that's been embedded in them as far as deflecting on conspiracies, making fun of conspiracy theory, all, of course, done by design. These teenagers are so gullible and easy to manipulate. They're working directly out of the government's hands. So let's take a look at Kiss of Life, okay? So immediately we see some pictures of these people and we look them up, and they love to hold stuff over their eyes. Can you believe it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're embarrassed. Maybe by their eye, they don't like that specific eye, even though the Bible gives us specific verses about the eye. In Zechariah chapter 11, verse 17, woe to the worthless shepherd who leaves the flock. A sword will be on his arm and on his right eye. His arm will be totally withered, and his right eye will be blind. And that's why they always specifically cover their right eye. So we have members from the band doing that, and we're supposed to believe, of course, that she's got an eye patch on. She's playing Madonna. Of course, she's doing the 666 with her hands. The other one's holding a symbol over her eye. And as we continue on, we'll see the first album for Kiss of Life, coincidentally, of course, because everything's a huge coincidence, is called Shh. That's right, Shh. Now, what do you think that has to do? Is it because of Rihanna's tattoo of Shh on her finger? Is it because every single celebrity always walks around saying, shh, did she fart and not tell anybody? What is this big secret, right? Because this is just a common theme with this band, apparently, because we got picture after picture, tick tock after picture, tick tock after picture, tick tock after picture of them holding their finger up over their mouths. Now, of course, this isn't because there's something they don't want to tell you about which one of them actually might have a ding-dong between their legs, because the answer is all of them. But no, really, they're telling you this because this is the vow of silence, the oath of secrecy that they take. This is a Freemasonic symbol, letting everybody out there who is in the Brotherhood know that they're in it too, and they've taken the vow of silence, the oath of secrecy, and that they will not break that vow. And of course, the audience out there sees it, and they just think no further than going, cool, neat. Why is everyone doing it? I don't know. I like them. I should dress like them and act like them, right? Because they're under full-on mind control. So as we continue, we'll, of course, see them black and white symbolism, of course, as they're doing photo shoots. Of course, their own, production company put out the black and white behind them by design, because, again, it's all tied into Freemasonry. You'll see pictures of them holding up the devil horns. Nobody will think anything of it. And then if we get into this song, the Midas Touch, okay, which is what it's called, again, the Midas Touch, which, no, they're not referencing Midas, the auto repair shop. They're referencing, of course, as they always do, Greek mythology or Egyptian mythology. That's what all this stuff is always about, because that's what they're indoctrinating everyone with. So let's start off with the most common symbol, right? Because it can't be a 3-minute music video without seeing countless eyeballs, right? So right off the bat, we get an eye, and then we get, an eye, and then you will not believe it, but we get an eye, and then, it just goes on and on and on, because, of course, I guess they all failed at optometry school also, and they love the back of the dollar bill also. And of course, this has nothing to do with the love of eyeballs. It is to do with the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. Then we even see a dress covered in eyes. Now, you might say, a dress covered in eyes? Wow, that sounds fascinating. I'd love to get one. And as we pull away, of course, we see what is really I think, a woman who is wearing a dress with eyeballs. And of course, you could see from the top and the feathers that she's pretending to be a peacock. And again, for those of you that don't know about the origins of peacock, again, if you think that all of this stuff doesn't have occult symbolism and meaning, it all does. Okay, and the peacock, believe it or not, that goes back to ancient Greek mythology as well. It goes back to Argos. And you're like, who is Argos? Well, Argos was a monster with 100 eyes that could see everything, right? So since they love eyeballs so much, why not go back to Argos? Argos loved eyes, right? And that's why you always see the peacock symbolism, not because they're big fans. And that's why NBC, by the way, uses the peacock. Okay, you know how CBS has the all-seeing eye, and everyone's like, CBS, all-seeing eye, Big Brother. Oh, but NBC's okay, they use a peacock. It's just another way to flash it right in your face who runs and controls everything. Because the peacock, really, what they use it for is because of the feathers on the peacock, like Argos, looks like eyeballs. That's why. So, as we continue on, we see that this band, like most bands, of course, have an obsession with serpents. Go figure, right? I guess they just at home, they have big aquarium, I don't know what you call it, but they just have snakes running around, right? They have Jake the Snake Roberts, the professional wrestler, I guess, from the 80s. They probably have tattoos of his face and his mustache on their back. That's why, right? It has nothing to do with the serpent from the Garden of Eden, does it? Oh, it does have everything to do with the serpent because they're obsessed with Lucifer. That's why you see the eyeball, which represents the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, okay? And the peacock with the eyeballs. And then it carries into all of these shots over and over of snakes crawling around their faces. They can't get enough of them. Probably crawling up between their legs. Who knows where the snakes are coming out of? They're pooping them out. They're just covered in snakes. And nobody thinks that this has anything to do with the Bible because they think that these people just love snakes. And that's why every celebrity constantly uses snakes over and over again. It's supposedly cool and edgy, right? I mean, give me an utter break, right? And as the video goes on, what we end up seeing is the heart symbol over and over and over again. And this is a big symbol that they've taken and normalized. And I've talked about this for years about the heart symbol and being a symbol of the Antichrist, a deception of love. But the origins of the heart I've covered before. And for those of you that don't know why the celebrities constantly hold up a heart, and if you've ever wondered, how come that symbol of a heart we see on Valentine's Day, and with, people just, the symbol of a heart that we always see that's supposed to mean love, why doesn't it look anything like the heart inside of your body? Well, because they're not one and the same, of course. The heart itself, and the reason that the heart is the symbol of love, it goes back, of course, to who else? Nimrod. I covered this in a video I did on Valentine's Day. Okay, the Romans acquired the heart symbol from the Babylonians. The word heart means Baal. Okay, that's where the origins of the word heart come from. Baal, Baal worship, Baal, the all-seeing eye. It all ties together. So if anyone out there is like, I don't really understand a lot of this stuff, well, let's make it clear, because we also see in the video here, of course, a woman or a man, I don't know, I think we could all guess, but tied up in spider webs, right? And that always brings us back to the famous quote from Bohemian Grove. It's, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. And of course, these are nothing more than deceivers. So I wanted to cover this band. I know I can guarantee you the majority of people who listen to my channel are going to go, who? I mean, look, I have no idea who they are, but I know that they're trending. I see 3 million views on it. I see that they're K-pop and they're very popular among teens. Teens out there, a lot of people don't see these people getting exposed because they're not very known in the United States of America, rightfully so. We should keep it that way. We should make sure that none of these people are famous, because these are the ones who are influencing the behavior. These are the ones who have normalized all of the Communist Manifesto and the communist agendas in our society. It all goes through Hollywood. And I warned about it a decade ago. I told people there was an important reason to expose the connection between Hollywood and Satanism and the occult, and how it all tied together because of the influence on our society. And everybody would say, well, it's just clicky, it's clickbait. Look, nobody cares about videos on a lot of these people. You're not going to get extra clicks for talking about some K-pop band. What's important to note is that people aren't deceived by the false idols, because the false idols are the ones implementing through mind control the behavior on the youth. Okay? They're using them. They are minions of the devil. They're the reason that these children out there think that they're born in the opposite gender. They hold up the heart symbol. They don't know what they're doing or what they're saying, because they're just following Satan's false idols. And that's all that any of these people are. They show you their allegiance always, right? They're always holding up fingers over their lips, and their eyeballs are always on display. And they use things like snakes and peacocks and heart symbols and Masonic black and white checkerboards, because they are all in the same club. And for people out there that think they might want to be a part of it, you don't want to be a part of it. It ain't the cool club. In fact, it's the loser club, because all these people who are famous would never be famous based on talent. They're only famous because they're so weak and gullible they were able to be manipulated. In some cases, they were born and bred into it. But in a lot of cases, these people sold their souls because they wanted fame and fortune so much. There's no talent involved. In fact, anybody who's talented that rises in their system, they suppress and remove. Look at me as an example, and many, many others out there. We have to continue this fight. We have to continue exposing Satan and his minions, because these are the ones who are holding an influence over the young teenagers out there. They start to worship these people. They start to think even a band like this, like, they can't be in it. Look, they're so sweet looking and innocent and nice, and they're holding up the heart symbols. They're all in on it, folks, and they all need to be exposed. I thank you for being here, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families, as always.